May I have your attention, please? If you have not done so at this time, please silence all cell phones and pagers, and please sign in. Thank you.
Good morning. This meeting of the Louisiana Tax Commission is hereby called to order. This meeting is being held at the offices of the Louisiana Tax Commission at 1051 North 3rd Street, Suite 225, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. The date is Wednesday, February 27th, 2019, and the time is 10:01 a.m. Please call the roll.
Chairman Shahardy.
Here.
Commissioner Wagasback.
Here.
Commissioner West.
Here.
Commissioner Vercher.
Here.
Commissioner Wood.
Here.
5 present and a quorum.
Thank you. There being no old business to take up at this time, we will consider the approval of the amended 2018 tax roll for Terrebonne Parish.
Good morning, Phyllis King, Louisiana Tax Commission. I did receive an amended roll as well as amended millage reports for Terrebonne Parish. I did not receive a amended TC33 because that had not changed. The only thing that changed were the millages. And there was, for Recreation District number 5, they had omitted 29 parcels that they are going in and adding those parcels to that report. So therefore, staff recommends approval of this new report.
So there were 29 parcels that should have been included in that district that weren't included in the district.
That were not sent bills for, yes, sir.
Okay.
They had it on there, but
caught?
evidently 29 of those did not get put on there.
How was that caught internally at the assessor's office?
A lot of times the legislative auditor will catch it, but I think this particular time they caught it when they realized those had not been billed.
And the legislative auditor it looked over this amended roll?
Yeah, the millage itself, of course, has not changed. And,
so that didn't require them? Okay.
But she requires a new report anytime that is changed because of the reports that she has to do.
Okay.
All right, I'll accept a motion. Unless there's any more questions, I'll accept a motion for approval of the amended 2018 tax roll for Terrebonne Parish.
I would move that we accept the amended 2018 tax roll for Terrebonne Parish.
Second.
Commissioner Vercher.
Yes.
Commissioner Wagasback.
Yes.
Commissioner Wood.
Yes.
Commissioner West.
Yes.
And Chairman Shahardy.
Yes. Next, we'll consider approval of the minutes of the meeting of February 13th, 2019. Unless there are any questions, I'll accept a motion for approval.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Vercher.
And this
Yes.
is for the February 13th, 2019 minutes.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, I'm not sure that's, is that on the agenda? Did we
Yeah,
revise her?
It's on my agenda.
Well, it was on the information
draft.
sent to us on the draft.
On the draft, yeah.
Yeah, the one in front of me, it doesn't show that being part of the agenda.
Was it on the amendment?
It does not.
On the posted? Was it on the posted?
It does not. It's on my agenda. Is it on the agenda that's been posted?
It is not.
It is not. All right.
Just defer it week after next.
We can, let's go ahead then. You can withdraw your motion.
I would go. Can we,
You could amend to add
amend
on.
it, yeah, amend the.
All right, and you want to do that?
Yeah.
Or you want to wait a week?
No. Not gonna amend to add it.
All right, well, let's, I'll make the motion to amend our agenda to include. Are we okay with amending the agenda, or we want to wait?
Yeah, you can amend.
Make a motion that we amend our agenda to include the approval of the minutes of the February 13th, 2019 meeting. Second?
So moved.
Second. I'll make the motion, Mr. West.
Made the
I'll
motion.
second.
Mr. West makes the second.
Commissioner Vercher.
Yes.
Commissioner Wagasback.
Yes.
Commissioner Wood.
Yes.
Commissioner West.
Yes.
And Chairman Shahardy.
Yes. All right, I'll move for adoption of the minutes of the meeting of February 13th, 2019.
Second.
And Commissioner West gave the first motion. Commissioner Vercher.
Yes.
Commissioner Wagasback.
Yes.
Commissioner Wood.
I'll abstain.
Commissioner West.
Yes.
And Chairman Shahardy.
Yes. I'll now make a motion to approve the minutes of the meeting of the February 20th, 2000,
We
excuse
have
me, I'll have to add that to the
add
agenda.
those.
Add it.
Yep.
Make the motion to amend our agenda to include approval of the minutes of the February 20th, 2019 meeting.
Second.
Commissioner Vercher?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagaspat?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood?
Abstain.
Commissioner West?
Yes.
And Chairman Shahardy.
Yes. All right, I'll make the motion that we approve the minutes of the February 20th, 2019 meeting.
Second.
Commissioner Vercher?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagaspat?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood?
Abstain.
Commissioner West?
Yes.
And Chairman Shahardy.
Yes. All right, the next item on the agenda are the appeals. Appeals A and B, the appeal of Abby Glenn, and item B, appeal of HC Metairie 1 LLC. Both have been settled. The third item on appeal, the appeal of Sparks Nissan Kia, again, item C on the agenda, is continued until March 27th. So now we'll move on to the next item on the agenda, which is consideration of change orders.
Phyllis King, Louisiana Tax Commission. We have a total of 882 change orders for today's meeting. Staff has reviewed and recommends that the Commission approve 840 change orders and place 41 change orders in pending status.
And that's 841 and,
Oh, I'm sorry, 841, yes.
okay.
841 approved, 41 pending. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Mr. Chairman, I would move that we accept the staff recommendations of change orders and approve 841 and place 41 on pending status.
Excuse me, that's 841,
841 to approve
okay?
and 41 place in pending.
So that's a total of 882.
That's correct.
Okay, I thought we had said 881, okay,
No, I do have a total of 882.
okay.
I'd second Regina's motion.
Commissioner Vercher?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagaspat?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner West?
Yes.
And Chairman Shahardy.
Yes. We'll now consider the prior pending change orders.
We have a total of 82 prior pending change orders. Staff has reviewed these change orders and recommends that we approve 60 of those. I have 3 that the assessor has requested be denied, and that will leave a remainder of 19 pending.
Should it be denied or just withdrawn?
They request them to be, well, I guess
I mean, he
we
sent
could-
in the change order, right?
We could call them withdrawn. What we do is go in and deny them in the system.
Okay.
And then from there in, they can either go in and correct something that needs to be corrected, or they can withdraw it from their end. And so that's just procedural, but
So internally, the deny means we have denied it.
we have.
Okay,
denied.
not the assessor. The tax commission is denied.
The
Correct.
staff has recommend denial, I guess.
Based upon the
Right.
assessors,
It's the, I guess the procedure, so they can go in and either withdraw it from their end, because we had them in pending status, and when they went to look at them, realized that this was an error that they could go in and correct. And so
Okay.
that's why they requested that we do it that way.
well, if it's just going to sit there, there's no reason to expect that the assessor would make any change. I mean, it'll just stay in the system as denied, I would think.
As a denied or rejected,
Yeah,
sometimes they do sit there without any change whatsoever. It's just as denied.
but in this particular
But-
case, the assessor requested that we deny
In this
it,
particular
and
case, they
whatever
did.
may happen in the future, he or she's going to do it on their end.
Yeah, we did receive emails from this particular assessor asking that we reject or deny this when it's
Okay.
considered rejected in the system, so that they would have the option to, there's a button they can click, it'll throw it into a different batch, and they can make a correction and resend.
Well, let's make sure that that email from the assessor is attached
Yes, sir.
to the record, so that 8 months from now, when somebody says, why did the tax commission deny it, we have an
Yeah,
email,
we
we
have
can track down that
notations
email
We do have that.
and say the assessor requested that we deny it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'll make a motion with respect to the prior pending change orders. Staff recommendations is to approve 60, deny 3, and place 19 in pending status.
I'd second that.
Commissioner Vercher,
Yes.
Commissioner Wagaspat,
Yes.
Commissioner Wood,
Yes.
Commissioner West,
Yes.
and Chairman Shahardi.
Yes. We'll now consider tax sale cancellations.
Tanisha Malvo on behalf of the Louisiana Tax Commission. Today we have a total of 6 tax sale cancellations. We have 1 in Washington Parish for improper notification. 1 in Caddo Parish to correct the assessed owner. 1 was erroneously sold because it should have been placed on the exempt roll. Staff requests approval of these 6 tax sale cancellations. Commissioner Wood,
Yes.
Commissioner West,
Yeah.
and Chairman Shahardi.
Yes. All right, we'll now consider 2 requests for refunds of taxes paid in error. I'll ask our attorney, Mr. Hoffman.
The minutes, we printed the wrong copies. We don't have to change anything we did. Just wanted to note that for y'all's information. So we have 2 refund requests on the docket this morning. We'll handle them both separately. The first one is from Tinsall Parish. Taxpayer's name is John P. Lee. The submission by the taxpayer as well as the response from the assessor was previously provided to y'all for your consideration and review. Just to summarize what's being requested, the taxpayer is asking for a refund of his taxes for 2014 through 2018 for an unclaimed homestead exemption. It appears the taxpayer had not filed the appropriate documents with the assessor to request his homestead exemption on his property until the most recent tax year, and now he wants a refund for a homestead exemption he would have otherwise been qualified to claim. The total amount requested is $3,783.79. The assessor responded indicating that we should deny the request. The assessor's written response is essentially that the taxpayer knew what they were supposed to do and failed to do it. The assessor doesn't feel that the taxpayer should be able to go back 5 years and get a refund. The assessor did grant the most recent change for the 2018 tax roll. He requested a change order be processed and did place the homestead exemption on for that. Just doesn't feel like the taxpayer should be able to go back 5 years to get his homestead exemption. Generally, I'll note that Louisiana Revised Statute 47:2332 does authorize a refund of taxes for an unclaimed homestead exemption going back for a 5-year period. However, 47:2332 also precludes us from approving a refund request unless the assessor agrees. So, for that reason, I think my recommendation would be that we deny the request on the assessor's disagreement.
The way the statute's written, it says that with the assessor's approval, we can consider the request for refund. It's silent, though, as to if the assessor denies it, which means it's not giving us the authority to consider it. Is that a simplistic way to look
That's
at
correct. Our interpretation of 2132 appears to be that if the assessor approves it, then we can either approve or deny it. But if the assessor denies it, we have no choice. We cannot approve a refund request unless the assessor agrees with it.
So if the assessor's going to deny it, why would it be sent here?
Great question. It appears this is an issue with the statute the legislature would have to change, but our hands are largely tied. With the way the statute's written, it does not appear that we have legal authority to approve a refund request unless the assessor agrees to it.
But in the first sentence, doesn't it say that from the client's perspective, they say 5 years? So wouldn't that? So where would the client get? I guess his. I don't know the word I want to use.
Do you mean like what recourse does the taxpayer
Recourse,
have?
yeah.
So the only recourse in my mind would be to file suit to enforce what they appear to be entitled to under 2132. But from our authority, from our perspective, we can't approve the refund request unless the assessor agrees to it. And in this case, the assessor would not agree.
So when they file suit and the court says, why didn't you go to the tax commission? Our explanation is because the assessor didn't agree.
That's correct.
Because our authority to grant the request is not constitutional, it's statutory. And the statute doesn't give us the authority to do it.
That's correct.
So,
unless you have any questions, that's it for that one. I'll let y'all make a motion on that one before we move on. I will note that the documents that were submitted by the taxpayer as well as the assessor's response will be made part of the record
yes.
for this refund request.
Well, I'll go ahead and make the motion that we deny the refund of taxes as requested by Mr. John P. Lee in Tensall Parish.
I'd second that.
Commissioner Vercher,
Yes.
Commissioner Wagsback,
Yes.
Commissioner Wood,
Yes.
Commissioner West,
Yes.
and Chairman Shahardy.
Yes.
I abstain. I abstain.
All right, the next matter in Orleans Parish, refund of taxes paid at
Yes, Mr.
3251 Ferdinand Street.
Mr. Chairman, again, Drew Hoppin, Council Louisiana Tax Commission. As you just noted, this refund request comes from Orleans Parish. The taxpayer is Robert T. Spencer Jr. in Emmanuel Community Development. The property address is reflected on the agenda as 3251 Ferdinand Street. To summarize what's being requested, the taxpayer seeks a request of taxes for 2008 to 2010, and then separately 2012 to 2016, based on two grounds. One, that his assessment was too high, the valuation was too high. And second, that the taxpayer is a nonprofit entity and therefore the property should be exempt. The total amount requested is $81,380.68. The assessor's response was generally that we deny the request. The submission from the assessor indicates the taxpayer did not submit an application or a form to qualify for exempt status until recently. The assessor did approve the exempt status for 2017 and moving forward, but the assessor would not agree to refund or change the previous status of the property for the prior tax years. The assessor also points out that while the taxpayer is complaining about the valuation, there was no protest filed. Upon review, again, I'll note that 472132 likely precludes us from granting this request because the assessor would not agree to it. But I'll also point out that the assessor is correct. It is inappropriate to challenge one's valuation within a refund request. And the second issue presented by the taxpayer is purely a legal issue on whether or not the property is exempt. It's not a homestead exemption. This is a nonprofit entity. It's beyond our jurisdiction. So this is a refund request we likely would have denied anyway, but because the assessor has not agreed to it, I think we have no other choice but to deny the request.
So the taxpayer's requesting a review of the value. This is the wrong forum for doing that, number one. And then secondly, the question of whether it's exempt or not is a legal issue which we don't have authority over.
That's correct.
In summary, that's basically it.
And I mean,
However, it sounds like to me the assessor has answered the legal issue if he's granted the exemption for the next calendar year.
I would tend to agree, but there's the issue with not having, submitted the appropriate paperwork or the form to obtain, and the refund statute does not envision a situation where you fail to claim an exemption with regard to nonprofit status. It does deal with a homestead exemption, but it doesn't speak to other exemptions that were unclaimed but may have been, otherwise qualified for.
All right. So we have a motion, or I'll go ahead and make the motion that we deny the request for refund of taxes paid in Orleans Parish for 3251 Ferdinand Street.
Second.
Commissioner Vercher,
Yes.
Commissioner Wagaspat,
Yes.
Commissioner Wood,
Yes.
Commissioner West,
Yes.
and Chairman Shahardy.
Yes. All right. There being no other matters to come before the commission at this time, I'll accept the motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Vercher,
Yes.
Commissioner Wagaspat,
Yes.
Commissioner Wood,
Yes.
Commissioner West,
Yes.
and Chairman Shahardy.
Yes.